Hi, I'm Professor Bolt, and I'll be presenting this CS6000 Research Methods course for the fall 2021 term. This is an online course, although, as I will talk about in just a little bit, we will be having some in-person discussion sessions so we can get a little bit of the convenience of online for many of you who are working and the in-person discussions and interactions. The discussion sessions are purely optional, but a lot of students felt that that might help the course when I taught it last year, but other students felt that the online version really helped them because they have day jobs and whatever. It was hard to deal with trying to get to campus for a course, and if you're traveling, that made it even harder. So I'm going to sort of see if I can split the difference. Come on, come on, mouse. So the first of these are to effectively gain an understanding of some of the very basic CS publishing and development tools. These are things that I used to take for granted that students would have already known because they're in CS, but my experience showed me I can't. So you will be doing assignments with LaTeX and Git and AWS because these are things that modern computer scientists all need to know. You're going to learn, and those are things that if you already know them, fine. If not, I want to make sure you have those skills. We're not going to actually do any hardcore coding, but you have to learn the basics of how those tools work so that you can apply them wherever the coding in your subfield is. You're going to learn how to effectively read CS research papers. This is a very critical skill and one that students don't actually think they need to learn about, but as I will show you through my process, if you're going to learn to be efficient, and you have to be efficient if you're going to be doing computer science papers, there's actually some process you can go through to help keep up. You're going to learn how to effectively write a research paper. And we'll talk a little bit about how to effectively present research papers. With the size of the class and online, I may actually have you all do a video, but I'm not positive about that. We'll see how that goes. Last semester did not work out very well. And I will also talk about some things in the program, like how to develop a thesis proposal. And this year I am going to add one video on how to write a proposal for funding, which is something that I've talked about now and then, but I didn't have enough time for last year. But since it's videos this year, I'll be able to add in a little bit more in the content. You're going to learn how to design an experiment and how to do the statistical analysis of the resulting experimental data. This, again, is critical. Way too many students don't know what it means to design an experiment. They don't know how to run the analysis of what it means to take the data from the experiment to actually reach a very sound conclusion. As I mentioned, we're doing a little bit of cloud computing. We'll do AWS. I may or may not include some others. If you want access through this class to various free resources, most of the educational programs for any cloud computing allows us to get you access for something for this class if we need to, because it's a focus of the class. I hope to add an appreciation for and an understanding of different sub-areas of CS and their approach to CS research. That will depend on how many CS faculty want to record some lectures so we can include some of those in here. But as you're going through, at a minimum, we want you to have an understanding of your field, and you'll be working on a survey paper that helps drives all of that. So first, some course ground rules. Try to understand. There's a lot of material. It's going by fast. Students have said this is a very time-intensive course. You just have to put in the time and get there. But if you don't understand, don't be afraid to ask an email, right? No one else can see your emails but me. The only dumb questions are the ones you didn't ask and you didn't understand something. Those are really dumb because it's easy. Ask me. I may seem to be aggressive. I come across sometimes as I don't know, aloof or sort of in your face in various ways. Don't be afraid to comment, to ask questions. Be constructive, be polite. I try and be. Don't be afraid to criticize, especially constructively, how to do things better. Look at a good bit of that from me. Be prepared and do the work on time. It's very difficult to keep up in this class. Once you fall behind, it's really hard because then the next thing's coming on and it's really hard to get there. Many students underestimate how long the assignments will take them. I have gauged the assignments in this class, so you will be putting in every week 6 to 9 hours of work in addition to class. If you're not particularly efficient, especially if you don't follow the efficiency things we talk about in this class, you could spend double that on the assignments. So you're going to have to learn to be efficient, and that's actually part of why some of the assignments are designed that if you're not efficient, you will know it and you'll pay the penalty for it. Assignments in the class will be given pretty much weekly. There'll be some reading and some writing assignments. There will be weekly journals on your learning, and there'll be short quizzes weekly on the weekly reading video materials. I'll drop the lowest quiz grade, so don't worry if you miss one. It's not a big deal. There are actually only 10% of your grade as it goes on. So overall, your writing assignments, your survey paper, and the associate assignments go with it are 40%. Your quizzes on weekly video content will be 10% of your grade. Your weekly journals are 10%. So every week you have a couple things you're going to have to do. Class participation via online discussion and peer reviews will be 6%, and a lot of that is the peer review piece. We'll have a few online discussions. With a discussion session in class, I'm not exactly sure how this is going to work out. We'll see how many people are showing up and then how many online discussions I need to make, but you can get almost all of that just from doing really good peer reviews anyhow. There'll be 3 assignments, one on Git, one on statistics, and one on AWS Cloud. Those are 8% each. And then there'll be a final exam, which is sort of summary of content throughout the course. Modulo, it won't have a lot on the writing assignment aspects, and that'll be about 10%. So as we move forward, in this course, we're going to talk about research papers. You're going to hear some research talks. I'll be posting some links in addition to if I get any of our CS faculty to do some. If not, I'll choose a few off the web and we'll use those. If a paper is published, you're free to discuss it anywhere, even online with anybody. However, in this course, there will be some papers that are unpublished. Students will be working in stuff. It'll be submitted, it's currently under review, whatever that is. Please treat that as confidential. Don't show it to anyone outside of this class, especially for those people who are working for a company. It is important that they know that that information is treated as confidential because it could impact their role at work, the potential for patents and other things, which we're not going to talk about in this class, but they're actually very important. So just treat anything you see as confidential. And be ready to put yourself in the mind of a reviewer, author, researcher, as you're going to need to be each of these in your career. And so as you go through the process, you're going to want to sort of think about how that's going to work together. So your first assignment, which you'll understand a lot more of after we get done this, but I just wanted to sort of work this in. I made a few tweaks from the past years. Your week 1 journal, and that's your first assignment, is to be done in LaTeX. Okay, and you're to upload the PDF in which you include a link to your Git repo. So there's 3 parts to that to unpack it, and this is true for lots of my assignments. There are multiple pieces. You're going to do some stuff in LaTeX. You're going to upload a PDF, and in your PDF, you're going to have a link to your Git repo that has the LaTeX source for what you're doing. If you're going to use Overleaf, that's fine. You can get inside of Overleaf to a Git repo aspect of it through the menu system, which is talked about in the videos later. So you don't have to have a GitHub repo. It can just be a raw Git link, as long as you can sort of share that with me, and then I can get to it. The document should have a title and an author. The first section should be 200 to 300 words on your goals for this course. I want to know what you hope to learn, what degree you're studying, and something personal about you, plus a photo as a figure, because I want to force you to get enough LaTeX that you can deal with figures and photos and stuff. The same content should actually be added to your Canvas profile for this course, so you have a sort of profile so those students can sort of see who you are. That might become useful as we move into online discussions and peer reviewing and stuff. The second section of your paper should be about where to find the source code and your learning with respect to Git, LaTeX, and put stuff together. At this point, I'm not making you do any command line Git, although you're welcome to if you want to do that, and it's discussed in the video lectures as well. And as long as you've made it either public or shared with T-Bolt on GitHub, that's fine. It does not have to be public for everyone. If you want to keep it private, then you just need to make sure that I can read it so I can look through the repo to make sure you're doing stuff right. Describe with whom you shared it, what tools you're using. Your body should discuss your learning from this week, which may include some other things beyond just the LaTeX document. Any problems and struggles you had and how you overcame them. The third section should contain a 1 to 3 sentence description plus citations to each of the papers that are related to your research, plus a citation to 20 others for a total of 25 papers. And that's discussed more in the videos for this week. Plus, there's a couple of other quick video exercises that I'm not going to go through now, but basically if it tells you to do something and put that in your LaTeX, then you should do it. If it's telling you to go find some papers in Google Scholar or whatever, include those papers as part of your thing. Finally, you should reproduce at least one equation from at least one of the papers and discuss it a little bit, because I want to see that you can include equations, properly cite them, and do some of that stuff. Finally, the paper should end with a bibliography in IEEE standard format for your bibliography formatting. So that's your first assignment. And now we're going to go ahead and we're going to switch over to I got one more thing. Why am I reusing old videos and how to watch the videos in this course? So as you'll see, I have a YouTube channel where I've uploaded a bunch of videos for this course. I'll be actually adding a few more as I choose some other elements to add, but there's sort of like a week number at the beginning of the video, so you sort of know what week you're at. It's a playlist. You can go through it all. And there were some comments last year, and after I talked with the students, they understood what I'm trying to do. So why am I reusing these old videos? So first, as a researcher, either in faculty or in industry, you need to learn to be efficient with your time. There's no point in reinventing the wheel, reinventing the wheel, or redoing things that are already done. You get very little credit as a researcher for doing any of that stuff. So I'm reusing old videos because it's very time efficient. The content is there. Some of the videos had students' questions that were unaudible, so I remove them. If you find another one, let me know, and I'll edit the videos to get rid of the points that are really annoying because you can't get there. If there's a part of the video you don't understand, ask me. My suggestion is if you're watching a video and you run into a question, stop right there because you're online, you're on a computer, right? Might as well just send me an email right then. I may not answer right then, but chances are really good you'll get an answer within a day or two. You may find YouTube's closed captioning, which shows the text useful. A couple of students last year said after I pointed out that was very helpful for them because I do speak a little bit fast. But YouTube captures a lot of my text, not all of it, but it gets pretty close. I talk fast, and sometimes I have quite a bit to go on. So I recommend having headphones, when you're listening so that you can hear. And you'll need to focus to keep up. At the speed I'm going, it's really hard to sort of do this and do something else at the same time. You can download the PowerPoints or PDFs. Most of them I think it's PDFs because it's easier for you to take notes on top of those so that you can use that as a place to take notes. And again, if you run into questions while you're going through this, stop, shoot me an email right then. Even if it's a comment like this was good, this was bad, I appreciate all those comments and I really do try and redo things. So the videos are actually not all from 5 years ago. There's most of them are from 1 or 2 years ago. Depends on how long they are, maybe 3. But I mix them up and I add new videos every year as I continue to refine where the class is going. So with that, I'm actually going to end this intro video and we're going to jump over to the first of the videos for the pre-recorded videos for this year's course. One last comment, and I will post this as an announcement in class. The discussion session, I finally heard back today, will be Wednesdays from 4:45 to 6 something. I think it's actually 6, but it might be 6:10. In Dwyer 114. These are optional. They're supplemental material. I will be going over to the classroom if you want to stop by and just chat about anything related to research or want to ask questions about the course. That'll be our sort of appointed time and place to do that. You can meet some of the other students in the class and have some discussions. So we'll take this sort of flexible model and sort of see how things go. So I look forward to seeing some of you in class, if not to hearing from you online when you do your first assignment. So thank you.